before I deliver the talk and show you the slide, I'd like to uh, talk about few things which are very important as regards you teachers are concerned. Uh, all of
Yes, sir.
you, yeah, all of you must be associated or familiar with the word curriculum, instruction, and all that. Curriculum is a heart of a institution, is a heart of a department, because all activities which are being happening or conducted in the department or institution are given in the curriculum. And as teacher, you must have seen that sometimes it happens that in the curriculum, some topics, some things are there which are obsolete, or there are certain topics in which time is given too much, while the importance of those topics in the real field is very less. You can imagine that if curriculum is not properly thought over designed by the experts, how much harm or how much loss it will cause. If 5 hours of content which is there is obsolete, thousands of students will study that topic, and thousands of teachers will teach to the students, and the time of the students will be wasted. Instead of that, if the that 5 hours of time is devoted to a certain things which will be helpful to the students in life, then you will find that the students will be benefited. So curriculum as it is very important, and it is not that it should not be taken lightly. It should be taken seriously, and all those persons which are involved in the education, they should be aware of what is this curriculum, what does it comprises of, and how it has to be designed, so that a curriculum which gives to we give or use by the teachers, that is relevant and is up to date, and it is feasible to implement in the situation where it is required. Before going to the topic and all that, I just want to, tell you what we understand by the curriculum design. Design of a building, you are very familiar with. All
Okay,
of
sir.
you,
Okay.
all of you are aware of that when building is to be constructed, first it has to be designed, and it is designed by the architect. And is it when it is implemented, it is implemented by the contractor. If the design is very good, but the building is not developed properly, then what will happen? That building will last for 60 years, 70 years. If design is good, it is implemented properly, then it may last for more than 100 years. If design is not good, it is implemented properly or it is built properly, the possibility is there that life will be more than 70 years. So what I feel is that as building is concerned, a architect has to design it. Similarly, when we are thinking about curriculum of a program which is to be implemented in the institution, it is essential that seriousness should be there in the design, so that when the students are trained through that curriculum, then it brings the desired results. So the persons who are designing the building, architect, one person is not involved. Building design involves a lot of things. Building design involves, sanitary, water, this, everything. Similarly, when you are designing the curriculum of a certain thing, then what is required is it also involves a lot of things. How much is there in the curriculum of a engineering program or diploma program or higher education program? There are 36 or 35 or maybe 30 slots. So all these 30 slots which are there in the curriculum, those are to be identified properly, those are to be designed, and those are to be put at proper place if you want that that curriculum should give desired results. If you find that these slots are not filled properly, maybe some slots are big and some are small, or they are not placed at a proper place, the possibility is there that the ultimate result which you are thinking will not be there. So curriculum design or a design of a certain thing involves finding out what are the elements required to be there in that design, then what should be the size of those elements and how those elements should be combined together so that they make a whole thing. So it means curriculum design is also very important, that 30 topics or subjects which are there in the curriculum has to be correctly identified, and so that desired results are achieved. All of you must have, because it is expected that all teachers which are there, they should be familiar with what is happening in the education ecosystem. If you are not familiar with what is happening in a education ecosystem, that you are good in subject matter, no doubt about it. But if you are not clear about what is happening in the education system, probably you will be giving them, giving to the students things which are not relevant, which are not up to date, which are not as per the need. Maybe you will be using old methods and old ways of doing the things. You know very well NEP 2020 has come, and before that you must have also learnt about NSQF 2013. Have you heard about NSQF? Yeah, anyone? National Skill Qualification Framework. No, everybody should aware of what is happening. So have you studied National Credit Framework? UGC has given National Credit Framework. Have you gone through National Higher Education Qualification Framework? That has also not been told to you, and you have not been aware of it. Have you come across how to assess how to assess the students, and what is the policy regarding the assessment students? That has been. So what I want to say is that it is very essential. Huh? Education Qualification Framework. So what I want to say is my humble request to all our teachers who are there, that or who are listening, that kindly don't confine yourself to remain up to date in your subject matter. Also try to be familiar with what is happening in the education ecosystem, isn't it? What are the new developments happening? Otherwise, what will happen that you will not be aware of that what the UGC, what the AICT, what the MHRD, what is the Ministry of Skill Development is incorporating innovative practices in your curriculum, which will fulfill the need of the NEP 2020. If you are not aware of, kindly try to, just as a hobby, try to see what are the things are there. So I have told you two things. That first is that curriculum is very important. Curriculum is the heart of the education program. It includes all the things which are to be taught to the students, or what experience to be given to the students. And mostly it is derived from NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, which has been devised after lot of interaction and with the various people who were involved. Based on that, we will have to see that whatever aspects are there, those are to be there. Then I have explained to you design. Design means, design of anything means, design of anything means that you try to find out, for example, design of a motor, design of a fan, design of road. Yeah, that means you have to try to find out what are the components which are required, what is their specifications, how they are to be placed, how they will fit in with each other, so that ultimately good fan is designed which gives the desired outcome which is required. So same way, curriculum which is there, curriculum has to be designed, and has to be designed by group of people. It will involve the teachers who have to teach it. It will also involve head of the department. It will involve institutions, principals who have to manage it. It will also involve representative of the state who have to know what are the type of manpower required, and what is the type of competencies required in people, and accordingly they will design the curriculum. So design also is the special thing. Before I come to the further context, I would like to know, have you, anywhere come to know that what changes has come in the structure of the education? There is a structure of education. The structure of education involves pre-primary, primary, then middle, then secondary, then higher education, and so on. And whatever earlier was there, that has been modified, isn't it? And when you award a qualification to a person, you award a qualification to the person when he has undergone, he has joined the course with a certain basic qualifications, and he undergoes a certain program, and at the end of the program he is able to demonstrate the competencies which are expected from him after he has gone through the program, and then he is awarded the qualification, isn't it? When we are talking about diploma qualification, we are talking about graduate and BTech qualification, PhD qualification, master qualification. It means each qualification is associated with a certain of knowledge, certain of skill, certain of attitudes in which he has acquired certain competencies. Is it? So it means, therefore, that when you are designing a curriculum or related to a certain qualification, what you have to do is you have to see what is this qualification, at what level it is there, what is the knowledge, skill, attitude expected from the person who has graduated through that qualification, and then you will design the curriculum. If you have to design, or you have to see the design of the curriculum of a primary class, then you have to see the design of ITI qualification. If you have to see the design of curriculum of qualification diploma, you have to see degree, postgraduate, PhD, you will find that the curriculum of all the qualifications will be different. Now the next question comes is, what is the strategy of curriculum design? When we design the curriculum of a nursery's children, the strategy for the design of curriculum of a nursery children course will be different. Then the strategy adopted for the design of curriculum of ITI. And when you are designing a curriculum of a PhD program, the strategy will be different. It is not that when you are designing for a nursery or primary school or secondary school curriculum, that strategy will be the same as of the higher. It means, therefore, that you will have to adopt different strategy for designing the curriculum of various qualifications. When you go for the designing curriculum for PhD students, isn't it? PhD program, they also design the curriculum. If they don't design the curriculum, then what will happen? They will be putting the things in a at random way, and that will not give the desired result. So the design of the curriculum of PhD program will be dependent on that we want the student after going through the PhD, they should be able to contribute to the new knowledge. They should be able to contribute to the new product. They should be able to invent something new. So curriculum design for PhD program will be based on strategy with a philosophy that students are able to develop new knowledge. When you come to the ITI, you are familiar? ITI, Industrial Training Institutes. When industrial training students institute are preparing skilled workers, so when you are designing the curriculum of the skilled worker in ITI, the strategy will be such that they should be able to do the work. And for that, what is essential is that the curriculum design of Industrial Training Institute program is based on the job which they have to do. When you come to the strategy for design of curriculum of a diploma program, the diploma program students, when they come out, they get employed as a supervisor or foreman in the industry, and they are supposed to control certain workers. So their program, when we are thinking about, if he has to take care of only one job, then it will be focusing on the analysis of one job only. But if he has to be employed in multiple jobs, then in that case, we will try to find out what is the competencies expected in. So when you are designing the curriculum of a diploma program, you have to adopt a strategy where you find out what are the competencies required to be possessed by students when he is employed in various industries, and from there and from other aspects, then you design the curriculum. So approach will be based on the employability of the students in various fields and what are the competencies required. That was about diploma. Then about ITI. When you talk about curriculum design of a nursery children, you cannot adopt the same approach which you have adopted for PhD or other division. But here, what is there? One teacher is there, he is teaching to the children, isn't it? Getting them familiarized with the environment and teaching them the rudimentary things. So when we are designing the curriculum of the nursery courses, we will have to take care of the individual requirement. So it means the strategy for the curriculum design of various programs will be different. And depending on whatever is the qualification and the program, that on that basis we will decide about the strategy. So in nutshell, I have given you an idea that curriculum is very important. It should be known to each and every student, a teacher. If he doesn't know, then he doesn't know why he is teaching this subject. What is the relevance of this subject with the whole course? Where this course has got the application, isn't it? How to correlate this subject which he is teaching with the other subjects? How can I, make my subject interesting so that it supplements the subjects which he has already studied? So you have to be aware of what is the concept of curriculum, what are its components, how it is important, and how it should be known by everyone. Now I will cover some slides are there. In between, I will try to introduce to the new things. Before I go for this, I have not covered it. Everybody should go on the site of Ministry of Skill Development, MSDE, and try to see what comes out of the meeting of NSQC, National Skill Qualification Committee. You know, as regards skills are concerned, skills is getting a lot of importance nowadays. Skills is there in school, skill is there in vocational education and training, skill is there in higher education, and national education policy, as well as national credit framework, as well as undergraduate program designed by UGC for colleges and all that emphasize that skill should be the part of the all curriculum. And it is essential also because of the fact it helps students to be able to do the things, and that helps them to get employment. So what I want to say is each one of you should be aware of the documents which I mentioned to you. You should go on MSD site, then try to see what is National Credit Framework. Unfortunately, because the chart of National Credit Framework is very big, it is not possible to show it here. I had brought it that I will show you and give it to you, but it is not possible. But I would request you that you can go through the document National Credit Framework and see the diagram which is given. It is National Credit Framework, the dimensions of learning. The National Credit Framework, the dimensions of learning. It is a three-dimensional diagram in which on one side they have shown the academic qualifications, on other side they have shown the skills levels of NSQF, and on the third axis they are shown experiential learning or proficiency axis. Everybody, every teacher should know about it so that he is aware of how the academic qualifications are linked with the skill qualifications, and how from academics to skill one can go and transfer his credits. Have you heard about academic uh, uh, credits and credit bank? Credit bank is also being established where each student will have to store his credits, and when he will store certain credit, then he will get employed. I was just broadly telling you so that you have got a complete picture, and now when you have got the complete picture, it is possible to correlate that with. The most important thing what I have talked about is qualification, curriculum, isn't it? And curriculum, qualification, curriculum, and these things and curriculum design. So just I will go through in the content. I have tried to see introduction is there, vision of education is there, education pyramid is there, outcome of curriculum of higher education, curriculum and systematic approach of curriculum design, characteristics of curriculum and feedback of teaching on curriculum, national skill qualification framework, expectation of NEP 2020 for curriculum design of program, and conclusion. These are things. So let's see. If you are certain of where you are going, you may very well end up somewhere and not even know. If you are certain of where you are going, you may very well end up somewhere else. You will not know where you have reached. It is set by Mager. So what is required? each one of us, each one in education also, one should know where one is achieving. And that's why, in education system, we try to say that this is the goal which has to be achieved. NEP 2020, a national policy, is a broad course of action or statements of guidance adopted by government at the national level to pursuit of national objective. Broader the scope of policy is, more problematic it becomes. You know very well that all advanced countries which are there, why they are advanced, why the quality of life of people are good there, the because their education system produce such a persons who develop new things. They get patents, and with that patent they earn a lot of money. It means therefore human resources or the manpower which is produced by the education contribute contribute significantly to the economic development of the country as well as the quality of life of people. So if India has to become a developed nation, what is their education has to be such that it produces people who are able to, make in India, innovate, is it manufactured in India? All these things are they able to do. And in NEP 2020, they have taken care of this. Is it clear? Not only this, you must have found that emphasis is more on research, patenting, isn't it? It means we have to produce lot of researcher, lot of scientists, isn't it? Much more which we were doing so that we can go ahead and we can become a developed nation. Countries like Africa and other countries which are undeveloped, one of the reasons why they are there, because of the fact very little research is being done there, new things are not being, only the things which are produced by developed or developing countries are being used there. The NAP 2020 aims at educating population in different fields for fulfilling vision of a developed nation, national development goal by 2030, as well as improving the quality of life of people. And two things I have said: education should lead to the making India as a developed nation, and secondly, it should lead to the quality of life of the people, isn't it? These are the two things which is required, and our education system should help us. If it analyzes the challenge in economy, society, education, environment, etc., and provide guidelines for the education structure and system to achieve national development goal, etc. What does this mean? Education, we have mentioned. What is this education? And it is not that just you have set the education and things will happen. You will have to have a structure, because education should give to the you people who are the researcher. Education should give you people who are the implementers, isn't it? Who are the designers, who are manufacturer. Education should give you people who can manage the shop floor. Education should give you people who are workers, and education should give you people who are, unskilled worker also. It means, therefore, education should have a structure. Without structure, what will happen? Yeah, it will be a lot of confusion, isn't it? So it means all countries of the world come with a structure of education, and most of the countries' structure is given by same structure as propagated by UNESCO. And this structure which is there is slightly different from the structure which we are having, but it involves the foundational course, and then we have used honors course also. If you see, honors course is also included, and then we have given a lot of changes, flexibility, that I will be mentioning later on. But what I'm saying, we have revised the structure of the curriculum, so structure of the education, so that this structure is able to fulfill the need of the manpower of the country, and that can result in the development of the country, make it a developed country, and improve the quality of life of people. The NAP 2020 entails towards a more holistic and multidisciplinary education to develop all capacity of human being, intellectual, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional, and moral in an integrated manner. Two, three things you should remember here. God has blessed you all with unique capabilities. God has blessed all of us, all 130 million Indian, with special qualities. Those qualities are related to our body, physical qualities. They are related to the mental qualities, intelligence. They are related to the social, related to the, heart. Sorry, heart. We call it emotional. And lastly, they have given the quality or strength which is related to the spirit or consciousness. So what is required is education is required to identify the unique quality of each and every individual of India, and they should try to provide them opportunity so that those qualities are nurtured and flowered. Nurtured and flowered. And it is your responsibility, all of you who are listening to me, that you should try to identify what are the things in which you are good at. Are you good in body, physical? Are you good in mental? Are you good in emotional? Or are you good in spiritual? Whatever good you are, you should try to develop it, nurture it, so that you reach to the highest level. We are unfortunate, able not to utilize our full potential. Hardly we use our creativity to 5 to 10%. 90% of whatever creativity we have, we take it with us all through the life. So education aims at that we should, NEP 2020 aim that each one is an individual. He should take care of his holistic development, and he should take decisions himself, so that he can find out the career path, isn't it? What does he want to do? क्या चाहता है, क्या मांगता है, और उसको जो है he tries to develop, take up that path and try to achieve it. Is it clear? So the NEP 20 entails towards a more holistic and multidisciplinary education, holistic development of the individual, to develop all capacity of human being, intellectual, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional, and moral in an integrated manner. You know, you must be remembering your old teachers, and out of that, you must have found one or two teachers. Those were so good that you still, although you have become now young, still you remember that school teacher. Is it so? Why you remember him? But there are certain things which make you to remember him again and again. And then sometimes you start smiling also. When you remember about that teacher, he punished me, but still you respect him. Isn't it? Why it is there? Because that teacher not only thought that this job is only meant for earning money, this job is greater than that. I am not making a building by bricks, but I am making human being. Isn't it? I am making human being, and those human being don't forget, don't remember you all through your life. Is it so? And that's why the good teachers you remember now. So what is I want to say is that you as a teacher has got responsibility not only to teach the only subject what you are teaching, but you have to take care that that leads to development of certain qualities in students which will not only help in a subject matter but that help in life also. I don't say that you are not doing it. You are all doing it. But what is required? More thing is required that you be the mentor of students. Maybe 60 students. Try to take care of them individually and try to give them the inputs wherever required so that it take care of their holistic development. Broader areas of education. The NEP 2020 aims at educating population in different fields of fulfilling vision of a developed nation by as well as improving the quality of life people. It analyzes the challenge in economy, society, education, environment, etc., and provide guidelines for education structure and system to achieve NDG. What does that mean? It means, therefore, when you are designing the curriculum of a certain program, it is not that things will come from where you copy what is given in the West. If you copy the curriculum which is given in the West in that qualification, you are not doing the justice. You have to study the economy, you have to study the society, you have to study education, you have to study environment, etc. And then only you have to design the curriculum of that. Why I say that? For example, you are designing the somebody has designed the curriculum of some degree program in Manipur for Manipur, and he has brought the curriculum from USA, and the same thing he has implemented for, let's say, BTech or MBA, whatever it is there, isn't it? What happens? Some of students study, pass out, but they don't stay there, they go out, isn't it? And serve and say what have been taught to us is not applicable to us. Is it? So therefore, it is the role of the curriculum designer is very important because he has to design the curriculum to take care of what is the economic requirement, society requirement, and education environment requirement, etc. All environment has to be seen before designing the curriculum. So I want to say, friends, all teachers, you are all innovators, you are all creators. Maybe on paper, content of the subject which is written is as it is, you teach. But each topic which you are teaching involves you also. You put your heart in that and then you teach. You are not verbatim speaking the things. If verbatim you are speaking whatever is there in the content or what is there in the book, you mug up the things and teach the thing, the students will not understand, they will not appreciate. But if the content which is there, you have prepared a teaching approach to that and you are taught in a way that students understand the things, then you will find they will appreciate. And you will also enjoy. Because I consider teacher role, we are lucky to be teachers. We are teaching human beings and they give direct response. If your lecture is good, at the end of the lecture, students will maybe clap or they will be happy, isn't it? If they have not understood and it has gone above their head, then they will say it was no good. Is it? So therefore, what I'm saying is instruction or teaching, which is the small part of the total curriculum and being managed by the teacher, isn't it, is a innovative and creative process. If it is innovative and innovative and not creative and innovative process, it means it is not a good process, because you have to take decision what type of students are there, how they will be motivated, how I organize the content, what method I use, what media I use, how I assess the students, how I ask questions. All these aspects has to be seen by the teacher and decided by himself what resources to be used for making the students to understand. All these things has to be taken care by the teacher, and he has to be a creative or innovative. If he is not creative and innovative, he will not be considered as the great teacher or effective teacher. Broader areas of education. The NAP 2020 aims to develop educated as well as skilled professionals as well as sub-professionals and other manpower in various fields like engineering, management, law, art, science, education, medical, social, related to socio-economic development and culture of the country. What I want to say is that, as I mentioned to you, development of the country is dependent on the manpower. Manpower is required in all these areas. Engineering also, management also, law, art, this and this, because all type of human beings are required, isn't it, for the development of the country. And that has to be, all these things has to be a part of the education structure, isn't it? And education structure is like a staircase, is it? And lowest layer staircase is pre-primary, then is primary, then is secondary. In 2013, Government of India issued a gazette notification that all skill qualifications which will be there, those will be as per NSQF, in which they have identified 10 levels. But now in 2030, 23, when they have, introduced National Credit Framework and academic banks of credits and undergraduate program with credit, they have changed the NSQF levels from 1 to 10 to 1 to 8. And each level indicates certain descriptors which are corresponding to a certain level of positions in the industry or service sector. So humble request to all of you is there, all teachers from all over India, is that kindly be familiar with the all documents which are being produced by UGC as well as the Ministry of Skill Development, because they will give you an idea that how to really implement the National Education Policy 2020, how to design the curriculum, and how to implement the curriculum in the spirit it is and we says. As I mentioned to you in beginning, that nation as making building comprises of design and implementation. If design is good, implementation is good, then the building will last for 150 years. If design is good, but building is not constructed properly, it may last for, let us say, 70 years. But if design is so, building is constructed properly, material is all right, everything is all right, it may last for 100 years. I would expect that you teachers prepare students in such a way that they are able to make them a India as a developed nation. And for that, it is essential that all of you should know what is expected by the education system from you, and you try to implement in your situations. Here I have just only give the education structure, and these are the levels which are there, and the details of that is given in the undergraduate curriculum, credit based, or you can see National Credit Framework, or you can see in other documents which are there. The stages FPMS up to secondary are purely curriculum and pedagogical design to optimize learning for students based on the cognitive development of children. As I mentioned to you, that the strategy for curriculum design will be different, and education structure is also systematically designed. Education structure staircase is not hypothetically designed. You know, up to secondary level, they have designed uh, in such a way that it is pedagogically correct and it is optimized learning of the students. You know, children when they are at child level, their qualities are different, their way of learning is different. When they come to the primary, they are different. When they come to the secondary or senior secondary, their thinking is different. They start exerting, adult हो जाते हैं. So therefore, when we are thinking about the structure, we will have to think of that secondary education is developing students up to level pedagogically and learning based, and further they are developed on a special way. The key overall thrust of curriculum and pedagogy reform across all stages used be to move the education system toward real understanding and towards reasoning. Although I don't agree with 100% that earlier our teaching was purely, you know, what I was emphasizing is our emphasis is not on rote learning. Our emphasis is on developing capability of children so that they can solve the problem, they understand the things, and they come out with new solutions so that India can be a developed nation. Education is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered as a basic right of every child. What we want to say is our effort should be to give quality education to everybody. The aim of education will not only be cognitive development but also building character and creating a holistic and well-rounded individual equipped with the key 21st century skills. All of you are aware of that the 21st century and further require different type of skills. All of you heard about AI. All of you have new development happening in the economy and manpower and industry, and we have to prepare our students who are able to face the challenges of new times. So the aim of education will not only be cognitive development, but also building character and creating holistic and well-rounded individual equipped with the key 21st century skills. Learning in education should be holistic, integrated, harmonious, enjoyable, and engaging. This is always there. You know, a successful teacher will have all the things that he will correlate everything what is there with the real situation. He will try to integrate, harmonize the things, make it enjoyable and engaging. We say that if the teacher has taught and student had not participated, it was a monologue. Monologue is not a good teaching, isn't it? When the teacher and student participate in the discussions and teaching, then we will say is successful. I always say in my classroom that teacher, whenever I go there, teacher and student do a yag. I think my friend from South are very familiar with yag, isn't it? Yag is yagna. Yagna also they say. And in yagna, what is there? Everybody gives his own ahuti, isn't it? Same way, when a class is happening, teacher is also giving his ahuti and students are also putting their ahuti. And if they put good ahuti, what will happen? The scent of the yagya will go everywhere to the individual also, to everybody, and they will be benefited. So my dear friend teachers, your role is very important. You are daily doing yag, and in yag, if you give a good ahuti and your students also give good ahuti, the possibility is there that ahuti will purify them, enrich them, and make them great in life. The key overall thrust of curriculum and pedagogy reform across all stages will be to move the education system toward real understanding and toward learning for problem solving in the field and take students away from rote learning. So what I've said is the future is that all what you are teaching to the students, isn't it, in any subject should lead to the solving of problem. Give them problem, give them challenge, and if they come out with the solution, that will be the great thing. Is it? Curriculum design, multi-point entry and credit-based, flexible and modular curriculum aligned to NHEF levels and professional graduate companies as well as PO and learning outcome. Calibrated to NAC, National Accreditation uh, Criteria of Program Curriculum Evaluation, fulfilling NEP 2020 expectation and quality standard ranking based global perspective of content and outcome, curriculum, teaching, learning, assessment and award, 360-degree feedback and impact of high rank program in view of present status of curriculum of these. My humble submission to you is maybe some of you have not gone through NBA and NAC. If you have gone through NBA and NAC criteria, that has also to be taken care because there also they take into account the requirement of curriculum. So a teacher which is there, he should not only be familiar with what is curriculum is there, he should also be familiar with what is the expectation of NBA and NAC. And if he is aware of it, then only he will be able to take care of that while he is teaching. Multi-point entry and credit-based, flexible and modular curriculum. All of you must have seen that these curriculum are now made flexible, modular, and students can come and go, and they can re-enter in that. And as far as we take into account global requirement also, and 360-degree feedback means that we are trying to monitor the progress of the students at various stages till the time he ultimately come out. Curriculum, syllabus, subject, course, lessons are used and understood in different way by educationists. Mostly curriculum is defined as a plan of a course comprising of education, knowledge, training, skill, and behavior, attitude, value. Division of discipline for specific qualifications are MA Psychology in Division of Art aligned to NHS level 9 calibrated with this. So I have just mentioned that if one qualification is there, we can say at what level it is there. If it is PhD, now it will be at 8 level, isn't it? And the curriculum is, you can say, aligned with a National Higher Education Qualification Framework or NSQF, and it is calibrated to NAC and AICT. This plan comprises of various learning experiences organized in a specific way for a target group for achieving intended learning outcome related to professional, occupational, personal, social, and learning to learn domain. What I want to say is, the curriculum which is there, it is comprises of learning experience to be given to the students for his holistic development. Holistic development means personal development, professional development, social development, learning to learn skill development, and spiritual development. We have to take care of all the aspects. And whatever components which are given put in the curriculum are put in such a way that it leads to the development of the students in all aspects. Systematic approach to curriculum design. I have told you the curriculum of a primary school children will be different, secondary will be different, then ITI will be different, diploma will be different, degree will be, PhD will be different, but they will be linked to each other. You will find that it is very unfortunate for India and everywhere that the primary teacher doesn't know, secondary teacher doesn't know, diploma doesn't know, degree doesn't know what are being developed. Isn't it? What are being developed? They are working in all silos. Skilled people are working, isn't it? But they are not aware other what is happening in other. And it is essential. That's why I'm saying that our all teacher should go and study the education, study the management, study the industrial engineering and other areas also by which they can become a effective teacher. System approach for problem solving. Many of you are engineer or management consultant, management teachers. System approach to problem solving involves 4 stages: analyze, design, implement, evaluate. And if evaluation give you desired results, good enough. Otherwise, follow the path again, iterative process. Maybe you will have to change the analysis, and then you have to change the design, you have to implementation, and so on. Isn't it? But another aspect in system approach of problem solving is while you are designing the things, you have to think of how I am implementing it. Isn't it? So they are all connected to it. So curriculum design also we can adopt the systematic approach, and it comprises of 4 stages: situation analysis, need identification and demand analysis, constraints, program education objective based on vision and mission of division and department. Design states include program outcome, learning outcome, curriculum objective, plan comprising of scheme, content and assessment, and award, etc., content of subject, organization of content, method, and media. Implementation include development of resources and teaching learning as per design, create structure for capacity building and professionalism. Evaluation, monitoring and feedback for improving of curriculum and impact. As I was mentioning to you that these are the 4 stages which is a systematic approach of curriculum design. Whether you do for primary, secondary or whatever you do, you will have to adopt this book. And curriculum design is not single man affair as it is being done. Isn't it? Where maybe dean sits, call 2, 3 persons and design the curriculum. That is not correct. Curriculum has to be designed by involving people who are employing our product, managers who are executing the programs, teachers who are teaching the program. All them have to be jointly prepare the things which are to be taught. Then only you will find curriculum will be there. And it is not that only once you implement it, it implement and continues for 10 years. No, you will have to change the curriculum because of the fact that things are changing in the market. A curriculum has to be dynamic. The outcome of the interactive process of curriculum design and implementation in department is a curriculum document. जो syllabus कह देते हैं ना, you say syllabus or document, curriculum document. The source for the design of curriculum of courses will be society, discipline, and individual. Curriculum design is a group activity. I have told you this. The sources for the design of curriculum. What is the source of the design of the curriculum of the nursery? What is the source of design of the curriculum of ITI program? What is the source of design of curriculum for a PhD program? The nursery program source of design is the students. Individual has to be developed. The source for design of ITI program or skill development program or vocational program is the jobs, isn't it? While the source for design of the curriculum of PhD program is the discipline. Is it? So each program has got the different sources from which all the content, all the things which are to be derived. The above process is applicable to lecture, subject, institute, state education, and nation. Systematic approach to curriculum design. The curriculum of a subject include. Many people say curriculum and instruction is same. Curriculum and instruction is same. Instruction is related to one subject, while curriculum is related to the broad area. Is it so? Is it so? Many times people say that. But if you talk about instruction of a subject, it also includes all the four stages of systematic approach for design. What is it? First, you ask yourself, what is the purpose and objective of teaching or instruction of a course or subject? Whom to teach, what to teach, where to teach, how to teach, what media to be used for teaching learning, how to assess students, what are the resources required. All these questions you have to answer, which is also a systematic process of instruction. Characteristic of a curriculum in higher education. I told you, curriculum which is there, if it is not properly designed, it will do damage to the country. You know, Nelson Mandela used to say, आप एजुकेशन को खराब कर दीजिए, nation will get spoiled. Isn't it? So, curriculum is the heart of the education, and therefore you have to take care that curriculum of the program of any level should have these characteristics. What are those? It has to be relevant, it has to be up to date, future oriented, outcome based, student centered, dynamic, feasible to implement, comprehensive, easily understood by stakeholder, fully articulated, multidisciplinary, industry oriented, and hand-on practice. These are the characteristics. So therefore, it is essential that when you are judging a curriculum, you should see that curriculum have all these aspects. What is this? Future oriented and outcome based? Future oriented and जी नहीं, you have to be not only see the present thing, you have to see the future also. And it has to be outcome based. Outcome based means it should not be input based, it should be outcome based, that everything whatever we are giving should result in giving proper outcome. For example, I spend 10 hours, if nothing is achieved, outcome is nothing, then there is no purpose of spending the time. This is the NEP 2020 structure of curriculum design relating expectation. Recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capability of each student, multidisciplinary and holistic education across the science, social science, arts, humanities, and sports for a multidisciplinary world in order to ensure the unity and the integrity of all knowledge. No hard separation between art and science, between curriculum and extracurricular activities, between vocational and academic stream, etc. There is a need to remove harmful hierarchical division and silos between different areas of learning. स्कूल एजुकेशन को भी उतनी इंपॉर्टेंस देनी चाहिए जिससे आईटीआई को सबको. Flexibility is the key so that learners have option to choose their learning trajectories and programs and thereby choose their own path in life suiting their talent and interest. Equity and inclusion is the cornerstone of all education decisions to ensure that all students are able to thrive in education system. All graduation course will have major and minor example. Science student can have physics, mathematics as major and music as minor. As combination he can choose. Promoting multilingualistic approach as a power of language in teaching and learning. Respect diversity and the local context in all curriculum, pedagogy and policy, always keeping in mind that education is a concurrent subject. A rootedness and leveraging in India and its rich, diverse, ancient and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. Extensive use of technology in teaching and learning, removing language barriers, increasing access for Divang. Teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process, continuous professional development, and positive working environment are necessary conditions. Outstanding research as a core requisite for outstanding education and development. Continuous review of progress based on sustenance and research and regular assessment by education experts. Program outcome or learning outcome relating NEP expectation. Life skills such as communication, cooperation, teamwork, resilience are must for students to play their role in life. Creativity and creative thinking to encourage logical decision making. Ethical and human constitutional values, empathy, respect for others, cleanliness, courtesy, democratic spirit of service, respect for public property, scientific temper, liberty, responsibility, pluralism, equality, and justice. And NAS assessment criteria for this has to also to be followed. NEP 2020 is well thought and planned education policy prepared under the leadership of space scientists like Dr. Krishnaswamy Kustaranangan to build a new India, but we need to implement it in the right perspective and spirit in which center and state government have to work in coherence. Then only it will bring results. At the end, I want to say that friends, you are all very lucky to be teacher. You are having power more than an IAS officer. You can decide what to teach, when to teach, how to teach, what things to be involved, what things to be involved. Yeah. अभी बात थोड़ा खत्म हो जाए. Is it? And then you are not because if civil engineer is there, he will be dealing all through the lights with bricks, isn't it? And bricks will not respond. But you are daily dealing with the human beings who have got feelings, isn't it? And they give you response immediately, isn't it? And that response is helpful to you have a good life. Then nowadays, lot of emphasis is there on research, innovation, and patenting. You can also do that. So enhance your spectrum of work, do new innovative things, see what is happening in your area, in the world, and by doing things which will result in not giving you satisfaction that you have contributed to the system, but at the same time, it will help you to generate more money. And you can do only if you follow your heart. आपका दिल क्या मांगता है? Ask yourself first question. What does your heart want? If you are able to answer this thing, second question you ask, what are the things in which you are good at? Is it? If you are able to answer these two questions and pursue this through passion, the possibility is there that you will achieve the greatest what you want.